This video goes out to all the degenerates. Yo ho ho, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another edition of the Dom Mafia Report. Say that you're new here, my name is Dan Mitchell. I am a diehard member of the Bills Mafia, and I put out videos on a regular basis about the Buffalo Bills and the NFL in general. You did read that title correctly. Today, I am going to be bringing you through the entire NFL Week 11, and I am going to be giving you my picks, and then also the safest bet that you can put down. Say, for example, you're a gambling man. Really looking forward to dive right into it. As always, say that this sort of content is your cup of tea. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, smash the out of this like button, and tell a friend. So right before we dive into it, I do want to give a giant shout out to today's sponsor, and that just so happens to be Prize Picks. Prize Picks is hands down the #1 player prop bet platform on the market today. It's super user-friendly, super easy. You literally pick anywhere between 2 to 5 players and say that you guess correctly that that player is going to perform better or worse than the projections that Prize Picks has in place, and your parlay hits. You can see some massive returns. The best part about it is that they are hooking up my audience. With the second that you sign up, they are going to match 100% of your initial deposit all the way up to $100 as long as you enter the promo code AFC East. So essentially you're getting free money, and if you know what you're talking about, you could easily turn that into easy money. So as always, I love seeing your parlays once they are submitted, so always feel free to tweet at me with a screenshot of what you got, and that way you can flex on me or I can make fun of you depending on what happens. So whatever you're doing, stop this video and download Prize Picks today. Hey, you. Yeah, that's right, you. The guy that's sitting on the shitter right now, staring down at his phone with his double chin. Why haven't you hit the like button yet, dog? I asked you nicely. Literally 3 seconds ago. You're sitting there, it's like, oh, content, this dude. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. So yeah, Week 11 has some big shoes to fill, especially after what just happened in Week 10. We literally saw the game of the year between the Buffalo Bills and the Vikings. We saw another absolute overtime thriller with the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. So let's just say expectations are high for this upcoming week. But starting off hot, Thursday Night Football, Jeff Bezos land over on Amazon Prime. We got the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers. So as we know, the Green Bay Packers did end up pulling out a win against the Dallas Cowboys in overtime. Some would say that they have a bit of momentum, even though that the receivers are literally spread thin, and then Aaron Rodgers has been super inconsistent, which is unlike him, especially coming off of an MVP season. Then you have the Tennessee Titans, which are absolutely disheveled on the defensive side of things. They did get Tannehill back, and Derrick Henry is still an absolute monster. This site that I'm looking at right now is favoring the Packers. I would have to disagree. I'm seeing the Tennessee Titans come out there and completely take advantage of this Green Bay team. I mean, Derrick Henry, I could care less how good your front four is or your defense is in general. You need to be performing miracles out there to hold this man under 100 yards. It just is what it is. Regarding bets, I'm probably going to have to pick the Tennessee Titans money line. They have the Packers -3 favorites. I'm going to stay away from that one, but my best bet is going to be the Tennessee Titans money line. So next up, we have the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are coming off of a bye week. They've been able to heal a lot of injuries, so they're going to be fresh going up against the Chicago Bears. And it seems like that Chicago has found their quarterback. There's been a lot of issues and there's been a lot of criticism with Justin Fields his first year and a little bit of this year, but the past couple of games, dude, man, has been balling. He's pulling his best impression of Lamar Jackson, and this kid is just having a damn year. Right now, vast majority of books are having the Falcons at -3. I'm going to have to say that the Chicago Bears end up coming out on top. I know the Falcons, they're still technically in the race for the NFC South, which isn't that competitive. The best team has a 500 record, so they're still certainly in that, but I just see the Chicago Bears picking up that momentum and taking advantage of the Atlanta Falcons defense. As far as bets are concerned, I'm going to have to go out there and say that's money line for the Chicago Bears. And you know what? I'm going to give them the points as well. And so I could definitely see them scoring more than 3. We'll go with the spread with the Bears as well. It's totally up to you. Next up, the Carolina Panthers and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are getting a whopping 12 points as favorites for this game. And honestly, I'm going to have to agree with that. We have Baker Mayfield starting. So I understand the Panthers pulled off a shock win against the Falcons the other day, but it's just with Baker Mayfield playing so inconsistent, and they have an interim head coach, this team still has a lot to figure out. Although technically, once again, since they are in the NFC South, they're not technically eliminated from even winning the division or the playoffs for that matter. But, I mean, the Ravens are just on right now, man. And I understand that they have their share of injuries, but this team has the easiest cupcake schedule for the rest of the season. I think combined, each and every single team that they're playing throughout the rest of the regular season has like a combined winning percentage of like 327. So, I mean, it's a safe bet that the Ravens were going to go money line on this one and then hammer the spread. With 12-point favorites, that's easy money. Next up, the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. The Browns are going to be going into Buffalo after suffering a loss to the Miami Dolphins. Have a great run game, right? With Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Their defense has been struggling tremendously, and that's something the Buffalo Bills need to take advantage of. Bills lost an absolute heartbreaker. They're pissed off. They have a chip on their shoulder, and right now they are 8.5-point favorites. I am hammering the spread here. I am giving the Bills 8.5, and I'm giving them significantly more, and I'm giving the Buffalo Bills money line at this point. It's supposed to be like Snowmageddon. I have been looking at the weather reports, and they're calling for anywhere between 2 to like 6 feet of snow on Sunday. So who even knows if this is going to be played in Buffalo? At the end of the day, I have a feeling that I love the matchups. I think the Bills have something to prove. The media is starting to doubt them, and that's frankly historically when the Bills absolutely go on a tear. And each and every single year the Bills go through their mid-season lull. This is where they pick it up, and I'm hammering the Bills money line and spread. Man, this game right here, I'm gonna stay away from as far as any type of gambling is concerned. But the Washington Commanders, Houston Texans, the Commanders are favored by 3 points. The Washington Commanders ended up completely shocking the world by beating the Eagles thanks to the referees. And so the Houston Texans, one of their only bright spots on that team right now is Dameon Pierce, who is an absolute stud. I feel like that this team is very, very close into having a couple of shocking wins. I wouldn't necessarily call a Commanders victory a shocking win, but I'm going to have to pick the Commanders. I'm not putting any money on this game at all, but if I had to, if there was a gun to my head, I would probably just pick the Commanders money line. I'm staying away from the spread. I'm staying away from the over-under. It's just, that's where I'm at. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Indianapolis Colts. Jeff Saturday, holy hell. With his coaching debut last Sunday, he ended up shocking the world and bringing home his first victory. Put Matt Ryan back out there, and Jonathan Taylor looked like Jonathan Taylor. Maybe it was a coaching issue. Maybe it had to do with the fact that he was out for a couple of games, but kid was just running it. He just recently won the Offensive Player of the Week. So right now, I think giving the Eagles 6.5 points, that's scary, man. That's really, really scary. I still see the Eagles winning this game. I think the Eagles are going to win this game, but if I had to put anything down as far as good money, I'm going to have to go with the Colts plus 6.5. I'm going to give them those points. If they win, even better. But plus 6.5, in my opinion, with the way that they looked last week, it seems like the team has rallied around this new coach because they believe in him. The whole media hates him, but his team believes in him. And so I think Colts plus 6.5 is easy money. Next up, New York Jets versus the New England Patriots. As a Buffalo Bills fan, I wish that there was a way for both of them to lose this game. However, I see the Jets getting revenge on this right now, right? I'm going to stay away from this game from a betting perspective as well. Currently, they have the Patriots as -3 favorites, likely because it's in Gillette. But I just see the Jets coming out and winning this. I think it's going to be close. I'm staying away from the spread. If anything, the over-under for that game is 38.5, and we are getting two very stout defenses. So if I had to put money down, I'm not going to, but I would consider the under of 38.5 in this game. I think that that has a strong likelihood of being just your typical boring Patriots game where it's 21-14 or something like that. Next up, we got the LA Rams and the New Orleans Saints. The Saints currently are sitting at -4 favorites. Now, this game is not going to be exciting to watch. It's not high on my list to be able to keep an eye out on for, but the Rams obviously ended up losing out on Cooper Kupp. Matt Stafford is currently in the concussion protocol. Both of them are not likely to play. And then the Saints offense just looked absolutely stagnant last week. So I could see Alvin Kamara going off because that's going to be their only option at this point. I'm going to have to say the Saints, but it's going to be a very, very boring game. I think look for Kamara to have a beast of a showing, but that's going to be the only thing that's going to be able to watch. I'm going to take the money line here, and so I'm also going to take the 38.5 under for this game as well. Both offenses are going to be absolute trash. Next up is the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. The Giants are currently 3-point favorites. This is also a game that I am going to stay away from. The Detroit Lions, their offense is always reeling, but their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Saquon Barkley out there, he is coming right back out there and proving to the league that he still has it. He's still young. He's still a top 3, top 5 running back, but I'm scared of this game. As a giant Dable fan, this offense may make this game a bit close. I'm staying away from the spread right now because they have the Giants -3. I'm staying away from the money line. The over-under is currently sitting at 46.5, and I am hammering the over on this. This is going to be a high scoring game. But I do think the Giants will come out on top. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. This game's gonna suck, frankly. I have no interest in watching this game. I have no interest in betting this game, but for anybody that's interested, or maybe you follow one or two teams, we have the Broncos at -2.5, right? I think the only thing that I could even put on there, because I feel like every time I've picked the under for a Broncos game, I have cashed in. So that's going to be the only bet that I am putting in place right now. The Raiders look like absolute shit, right? With Josh McDaniels, I'm surprised if he's going to have a job after this, although the owner said that he was doing a fantastic job. Please, what a puff piece. And so on the Broncos, we don't know who to blame. Is it Russell Wilson or is it the coaching? I'm probably going to have to go with coaching. But if I had to guess who is going to win this game, I think the Raiders are going to. The Broncos defense is still very good, but I think that they are going to hammer away with a win. So if anything, I'm going to go Raiders money line. The Dallas Cowboys are 1-point favorites against the Minnesota Vikings at home. And trust me, I understand that the Vikings have been winning some very, very close games. Most of them determined by 3 points or less throughout the past couple of weeks. They're 8-1, so I think making the Dallas Cowboys a 1-point favorite is low-key disrespectful, and I am absolutely hammering the +1 for the Vikings on this. I think the Vikings are going to win this game. I think that they're going to win it more than just by 1 point. They're just reeling. That offense is absolutely incredible. They have just him, Jefferson. That's right, I said just him. Man is him. Their defense is doing what they can do. Dak Prescott, man, the Cowboys just look better with Cooper Rush, right? Let's just be honest with ourselves. But, I mean, I'm taking the Vikings money line, and then I'm also taking that spread. 1 point, so I put my mortgage on that. Not that I would recommend you doing the same. Next up, Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers. Bengals are -4.5 against the Steelers. The Steelers did end up getting TJ Watt back. Their defense is looking a hell of a lot better, but I still think the Bengals come out on top with this. Not so sure about the spread, which is 4.5, and so I'm going to take the Bengals money line. Okay, this right here, this game is where a lot of us are going to make a lot of money, okay? Almost guarantee you. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Chargers. There's a lot on the line right here. If the Chiefs win this game, that division locked up. If they lose, then it becomes a race, right? Right now, the Chiefs are currently 6.5 favorites against the Los Angeles Chargers, and let me tell you what, the Chargers are going to win this game. There is a lot on the table, and I have a feeling that we see an absolute performance from Herbert and from Mahomes. This is going to be an absolute shootout. This is going to be a top 3, top 5 game of the entire year. But I see the Chargers coming out on top. I really do. Sunday Night Football, I am looking forward to this game. I see the Chargers winning this game. I'm taking the Chargers money line, and I'm taking the Chargers spread, which is +6.5. Literally disrespectful. I'm seeing this happen, and that's just going to be cake. And finally, Monday Night Football, the 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. The 49ers are -8 favorites. The game's going to be played in Mexico City, but I mean, I'm going to hammer the 49ers money line. I think the 49ers walk away. It doesn't matter if Kyler Murray is going to be out there. They literally have all of their healthy guys back, and this team is also a sleeper Super Bowl contender. Hammer the 49ers money line. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, those are my week 11 picks. Do me a favor, leave a comment. If there was any sort of bet that I missed out on that you consider to be easy money, please drop that in the comments for everybody else to do their research. Once again, make sure you do gamble responsibly. I really don't want to get anybody mentioning me on Twitter that like you lost your kid's college fund or some shit. But love NFL. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Smash the out of that like button. And so we'll see you next time. But before I let you go, better always remember, let's go Buffalo.